Hi guys, welcome back to Transits and Tactics. Another week, another transit, and another stuff to kind of affect us and deal with it. And it's so interesting. I'm really loving the fact that me and Anita were doing this together because these are all splenic gates that we've been traveling now in the last, 2 months. And
Mhm.
I have a defined spleen. Anita, you have an undefined spleen, right?
Yeah,
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 so it's interesting how we experience quite differently the energy of these gates, and so I am so looking forward. We haven't actually discussed today what our impression was because I was so afraid that we're going to say something that was super good, and then not have it here for you guys. So this is definitely an exciting transit for me personally. Very very special transit, I have to say. So the let's have a look. The gate 44 is where the sun is at the moment, and it has several names. So it can be called the gate of alertness, the gate of patterns, and really what it is the gate of instinctive memory. So we're talking about cellular level instincts that some could be rooted in your past experiences. And what this period is really, really good for is because your senses are so heightened, and your sense of smell specifically, it's sort of like this is the time to sniff out potential good or bad things. This is the time when you also could be sensed as your potential as well. In my life, it's literally this is what's happening right now because we're moving accommodation, and so people have to see a sense what are we like as people based on our application. And it's really really exciting because I can sense how there is also a fear. The shadow of this gate is the fear of insecurity because of something that happened before. So we have with this kind of like a sense of smell or sense, we can see the potential, we can see what's emerging, and we can see what can happen in the future. However, what can hold us back is whatever bad, negative, and the rest is sitting in our cellular level memory from the past. And so a lot of things can, a lot of thoughts that are insecure, that are thoughts of lack, that of failure, potential failure, then can come up. And I feel like this energy, of course, it can show in any area of our lives, but it is very, the breakthroughs can happen. Like we were battered a little bit by other all these other transits, and so now there could be potential breakthroughs, there could be potential something that can happen, and this sense that okay, this is it, I am going to go ahead. Doesn't matter how scary it might feel, because this is an upgrade, this is up leveling, there is a potential. But hey, can I be, can I live up to this potential? Ooh, I don't know. And all these feelings then can be stirring up. There could be a lot of fear of insecurity, where the money will come from. There's a lot of this kind of business related, entrepreneurial related energy. But as I said, it can show in absolutely any area of our lives, which I'm actually happy that there's a lot of kind of businessy kind of energy here, because we are talking about prosperity and money and business and marketing. And so with this energy, as I said, there could be breakthroughs, and there could be new marketing ideas, or some sort of like potential that you can see what you can do in your business. And it's really important, I feel, and this is my personal experience, and with my defined spleen, and this is the kind of trust your journey is intrinsically in my design. It's kind of built in me. But I feel like no matter, I do feel all the fears, by the way, just a disclaimer, right? All the fears and insecurities and money wounds and everything. But trusting this feeling that something big is happening, and yes, you got it. You are going to have everything you need, all the resources. You will come up with ideas. You will, everything will align. And just trusting this, I think this is what this gate is calling us to do. And so it's really, really cool. The grounding energy, the earth, is in gate 24, which is the gate of rationalization. And that means that you might overthink things and you might feel this mental anxiety. So, as well as at the same time as you feel like, I know this is happening to me, I feel like I'm trusting my journey. I feel like things are happening, but there's a lot of mental processes that I can't stop that are, interfering. And here's where following your strategy and authority is so important. Whatever you're entering right now, whatever these big breakthroughs or opportunities, if they present themselves to you, follow your strategy and inner guidance or your authority, because that's how you're going to ensure that you're entering this correctly. Everything else can be figured out later, but if you enter something correctly, whether it's a lesson and it's not going to work out the way you want, because we can't, we assume a lot of things about the future, but when you're open like this, it's correct for you. Maybe it's leading you to the bigger thing that's going to happen. Maybe it gives you a level of awareness and knowledge that you're missing to really be, tuned in to your path, So there is a lot of that. Watch that mental anxiety and chatter, but try and channel it into envisioning your new perspectives or these possibilities or this potential that you're sensing, rather than talking yourself out of it because something didn't work out in the past, or maybe this is something new. I had this kind of conversation with myself about the anxiety about something new or bigger, or when something is bigger and it's going to be more expensive, especially to do with money, and that this is where you haven't been before, right? And the fear comes in, and I was analyzing this fear, and I think this is where the gate 24 really rationalization, I was trying to analyze this, and I thought, well, of course it feels scary because I have never done this before. If I have ever done this before, like I've been in the same point before, right, where something I'm entering, I'm like, oh, this is going to be expensive, how am I going to handle that? But it happened and I've handled it, and everything was okay, So now that level for me is not a big deal, I've lived through it. But this one, I haven't yet. So it's not about being afraid because, oh my God, what's going to happen? Where am I going to get the money? No, I better stay safe. It is about understanding that you haven't dealt with this yet. It's new. So you don't have the point of reference, how this is going to work out for you, which is great because it's an ultimate freedom for you to go and create the future of your dreams, right? So you're, in a way, that's how I feel, in control. How cool is that? How cool is that? And also, if you have the gate 26 on your will center, ego center, then you have the whole channel of surrender activated now, which is really, really cool. Actually, it's a very salesy channel in a very good way. You can present an idea and you have this power of convincing someone and literally talk them into your ideas. So yes, it can be used to manipulate, but hopefully you are not going to use to manipulate, anyone into anything inauthentic. But it is a kind of this, contagious energy of you have the ability to sell the idea onto anyone. The only thing you have to remember, this is a projected channel. So whether you're a projector like us or not, that doesn't matter. If you have 26 or you have the whole channel, you have to get those people come to you. Get that market come to you. It's not about going in and selling on to that market. That's when it becomes like the sale, like, the secondhand cars salesman, all that kind of horrible, manipulative, salesy vibe. Because you need to wait to be invited into this. So what do you do while you're waiting? You make yourself available, you create content, you go live, you write a book. Do something that people can see you. I think that maybe this time is not really good for writing and hiding. It's good to write and put something out there. So blog, do videos. Put yourself out there with all those ideas you want to sell on others, whatever inspiration. You can pre-sell program. Think about how brilliant this energy is to pre-sell a program. You can come up with something, talk about it passionately, right? And pre-sell it. You don't have to design, you don't have to create it before you sell it. That's actually a very good way to validate offers anyway. Any offer, not just the program. It could be a one-off thing, but you can be creative this week and try and sell it and see how your audience responds. Let them come back to you then with the response. Be a little detached from trying to be too impulsive with that. And I think good things can happen. Another really cool thing that I've read about this, the influence of this channel, just generally right now, it is watch your body, because it's a splenic gate right now. And so that means that your body is also physically responding with the sense of danger, maybe, or, it could be a positive thing. So body tingling, shivering, temperatures, the body is going to signal the correctness or incorrectness for you. And as someone who is a splenic authority, this happens to me all the time. It's really, really cool. But you have to just pay attention to it, right? So if you are not sure and the chatter is too loud in your head, how did you feel in your body? What a wonderful vehicle or mechanism we have here to know what's for us, what's not for us, right? And finally, this is a good opportunity to, come up with something new, maybe in the kitchen, and do some cooking with some new ingredients and see what you can come up with. Or in your marketing, in your business, do some collaborations. Don't put expectations on the end result. Just play with it. You never know what can happen. And then, today we're recording this as new moon as well. So new moon is on our side. The intentions are on our side. I am very excited about this period for a change. So Anita, how are you experiencing this?
Yeah, well, look at you with the defined spleen. So you're used to this energy. For me, I have the open spleen and I have the gate 26 defined. So what can happen here is for you, you'll have a natural sense of people and be able to pick that up. For people who don't have this energy, I usually look to my family, to people I know who has this so I can see it. Because this energy can lead to disaster in business because you trust the wrong people, you pick the wrong clients, and you try to market to the wrong people, the people that will always reject you, right? So it's really key to understand that this is deeper than you know. This is karmic. It's like, the way you might keep attracting the same jerk over and over again, that no matter how many times you break up with someone, you move in and it's like you see the same person, you go, oh my God, they're amazing. I'm so attracted to them. We do that because we need to resolve our energy around relationships. So with this, this is the first time I saw this actually this deeply. It sets up a huge mistrust. People either are burnt in the past and don't ever try again and keep their life and people at arm's length, or they keep trying to make their relationships work and keep thinking the other person will be better in the relationship instead of realizing, no, this is an energetic thing that I need to resolve, right? So what happens in business is that gate 26, 44 smells a rat. So, and 26 can establish, ooh, is that true? Do I keep going with this or do I not? Um, and what happens then is the 26 programming partner is the 45. So money, and it's all leading into the money energy. So business is about selling a product to people for money. So if this is skewed in your chart, this can lead people, this can lead you, and has led me to be literally just off my game, really good at my work, and just off my game prosperity wise, just out of my flow. And not realizing that, a tweak energetically can help me to step back into my abundant flow with this. So the difference would be when you have this energy, the spleen defined, this energy, you will naturally attract people who promote you. You'll sense it. You'll know the people who won't promote you. And I see you doing this all the time, Juliette, right? You'll be there, oh, I'm not so sure about this, or I am so sure about that. And so for me, it's not so easy because I will attract people. It looks good, they're nice, they're smiley, and they turn out to be totally unsupportive. So
Mm.
there's a lot of mistrust with this and misjudgment with this energy. So a brilliant thing that I have found is that I've been drawn to energy modalities that help me dissolve and heal these DNA fractals, literally, that keep me in a place where I'm just slightly not reading the room as well as I could. So that's really interesting. But also with that, with the transits, is of course but this gate imbalance is that you're just brilliant at reading people. You're brilliant at organizing the room, managing the room. You're brilliant at recognize who belongs in your life and who doesn't, and easily discern. So you don't get stuck in this pleasing and, when you trust your instincts. However, if you're in the natural, if the current social relationship model, no one's reading instincts. They're all being, we're in this codependent trying to understand how the hell to work relationships energy. It's like it's weird. How can so many people read someone so wrong? This is why they're distorted. It's like having a different pair of glasses on. You just don't see it right. And when you take off the glasses, you go, oh my God, I never saw that before. But when the energetic glitch is there, it's a deeper healing than awareness, if that makes sense.
It's
So,
so actually was I want to add something here. I'm actually writing about this in my new book because there is our energetics, there's our unique energetics. And yes, some of us are maybe better at sensing and some are not so good. And that's okay. It's not because, somebody is better and someone is worse in general, right? We have our own processes. But as a collective, we also have a certain ways, right? And the way the collectives work right now, there's a lot of this, like a blind following of someone without discernment, and just basing this on familiarity rather than individuality, or even your own individual senses, and I might be splenic and I might know, my danger or whatever, but I followed wrong people too, because the collective energy is very powerful, and it just, you get sucked into it. So it's really interesting, that what you just mentioned there. It's interesting to just sometimes observe, and also you might not be able to stop it, but sometimes you can just realize that, oh my God, I'm doing everything because it's a collective energy. That's like, it's not my choice. Just everybody's saying
true,
this person is cool.
true. And here's where people think I can't do anything about it. You actually can. But it is how we can follow and get stuck in, when you say people of a feather flock together, energetically, when we talk about fractals, just using, say, water as an example, when water is blessed and loved, it creates beautiful geometric fractals, geometric crystals, right? When it freezes. Now, when chaos is introduced here, when it's fear, you can literally it creates distorted crystals, right? So the same thing happens when you're in fear with this energy. You can feel um, um, birds of a feather flock together. You can feel you're on the same wavelength as someone,
Mm.
but you're both on the same screwed up wavelength. If that makes sense, you can actually resolve this within you. And there's beautiful ways, energetic ways of sending back those energies that you're still bringing into your relationships that you've learned from others, and reclaiming your energies from relationship. Very simple way of doing that. And it's really just to be aware, because at the moment with the energies, you might feel a deadlock in your business, in your relationship. Mars is opposing Pluto at the moment. And so with that deadlock, you also have Neptune and Uranus that are helping us to break up these patterns, to dissolve the emotional energy that are holding these patterns together so that we can move forward. So it's a huge opportunity at the moment to get out of your head, get into your body, ground, center, move. I've been saying this for weeks, but be aware that the fears and the mistrust of people is usually well founded. It's
Yeah.
usually well founded. And what we do with that gate 24 is just rationalize, make it okay when it isn't.
Yeah.
And so the thing is to understand this energy right now. Um, Give yourself some space. Turn off your phone, turn off your computers. If you have been attracting the draining client or the client who doesn't want to pay you, start shifting, use this energy to shift your energy around that so that you're intentionally calling for the client who is happy to work with you, happy to pay you. And this is a huge game changer because it is tribal circuitry. It is.
Oh, totally. Yes.
Yeah.
I actually want to add, if you don't mind, I'm just want to add before maybe we deviate from this whole point of calling out to a client that you want. I think that it's not really about calling out there to the client. It's about you honoring your own boundaries and your own, how do you want to feel with these kind of clients? Because that's where I see how it becomes very frustrating for people. They're like, well, I know who I want to attract. I know who I want to attract, but they're not coming. I can't find them. That's because your mind is out there. But really first it needs to be here. Your energetic state is what attracts.
I agree. And that's where the problem can be, because you can change your mind, but if you're not changing your energy, you're still putting out the same frequency, looking for
Exactly.
the people who won't pay you. And that's why this goes deeper. That's why human design is so fantastic in relation to developing relationships, because when you know your needs, so for us as a projector, we need to work differently to generators, to manifesting generators, to reflectors. And so knowing those and knowing your needs, knowing where you can be taken off your game and how to get back on, really, it's really a game changer for relationships moving forward, and who we will allow in our life and who we won't. And we won't guilt ourselves into, like, 44 is the gate of fear of repeating past patterns, but it's really fear of repeating hurtful relationships or relationships that don't support me over and over. And it leads to the will center, which is, because this is are people resourceful for me or not? Am I a resource for them or not? But you're absolutely right. I think it's both and. We need to stop seeking and start magnetizing. This is the key to it.
It's the key. It really is the key. And you know, when we're talking about human design is the key, guys, it's not about you going in and doing every human design course out there because it's not about knowing it. You can know everything. You can have such an in-depth knowledge of human design and still not actually live it.
Mm.
It's what you, it's like walk your talk with it. Live the experiment, because what happens when you say, if you, even in terms of your business model, even in terms of your work, you read something, okay, projectors tend to be this, and reflectors tend to be this. Go and play with it. And
Yeah.
then your job and your goal in this is to watch how does this show up and feels and looks in your life. Not in my life as a projector, not in Anita's life as a projector, because we are projectors, but we're very diverse, right? Or any generator, manifesting generator. Don't look out, look within, especially if you're a generator. Your existential question here is, who am I? So it's all about you, right? I'm getting very passionate. I'm very passionate about what I call selfish marketing, right? When you focus
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
yourself. And so this is exactly where the magnetism happens, because you stop caring on about anything on the outside of you, but what you care is that this is how I want to feel. This is how I want to, in my work, how I want to be on purpose. This is, make it about yourself and create your content and show up and do everything. Even if when you're meeting people for your networking purposes or collaborations, do it for yourself. That's when there's no desperate energy. That's a big shift. And human design helps you build awareness about how all this feels for you uniquely, so that you can make those aligned choices. Because there's a big this is my pet hate in a way, like when we talk about human design, and people are like, okay, I need to learn everything about human design because the mind kicks in.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's not about that. It really is about living and seeing and watching and making decisions for you. So that's a really, so put yourself first. And this is a good week now to maybe experiment with this as well, and experiment, like, watch your fears, watch what you're sensing, honor your senses. This is important this week. Honor your senses. And we will see you in the next episode of Transits and Tactics.